Okay, I'm recording. Say something.
Something.
Okay. What did you think lost you the game? Like,
Close me the game.
yes, what do you think lost you the game?
I don't know.
So Harahgon said he doesn't want to play this map, so I was like, douche. Just douche. 20 villagers to 10. Perfect. 8 villagers. Why has he not resigned yet? He doesn't have a TC. Doesn't have wood to build a TC. Three on wood. Some idle time there, not good. That's like 10 seconds already there. Go for the boar. And I think one mistake you did here in Dark Age was you went for pushing these deer and then you went to mill. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you milled these three. Should have done the other way around, like push these three, they are as close. Yeah.
6 deer.
Should have milled the 6 and then push these 3 if you wanted to. And I think you only pushed 1 deer also here.
Yeah.
Problem with Mongol is like you need to get like fast feudal to get the advantage out of the hunt bonus, and then you need to transition your economy from like fast feudal into like farms after you run out of the hunt, which is kind of tough. And I think that was one issue that you had in this game, was like transitioning from the hunt into food. And one thing that didn't help out was that you milled these and then you pushed these, which they should have been other way around. And also what I would probably do myself is I would just mill the berries, push couple of deer, like these 3 deer, and then after you click the feudal edge you mill these deer. That's probably what I would have done. And which also helps with the transition, because you have some like stable food income from the mill, like the berries. And you should have enough food from the hunt already to go up pretty fast. In this case you go up pop 19. We're now at 850, you are 84% up.
Oh, okay. 850 I should be in feudal.
Yes. With perfect out time. Which means that like 9 minutes would be fine. You were up at 9 minutes. But you have 20 seconds of idle time. And it takes you a long time to transition into farm. You have 300 wood already. That wood should already be on farms at this point. Because now you are running out of food and you don't have hunt left. Or you have only those 2 zebras.
Yeah.
I mean, this map is pretty tricky, like especially with Mongols. Like this transition is, it's not easy. I agree with that. Like with Mongols especially. You go, the faster you go up, the like worse your economy is. The longer you stay in Dark Age, the better your economy is. So when you go up fast with Mongols, it's always kind of tricky to balance the economy. And now you have idle TC. I noticed this in the other game as well. You have quite a lot of idle TC in Feudal Age.
Yeah.
Something you need to work on somehow. Like now the stable and the TC is idle. Both of them are idle. And your opponent is doing scouts. I wonder if you know about that.
Probably I don't.
Yeah, you don't see the buildings, so you have no idea. So with fast uptime, you should be like scouting the opponent fast, so you know like where to hit. But also what he's doing 2 stables. What on earth? 2 stables. For what? He doesn't have any farms. Doesn't have any food either, actually.
Yeah, he
Oh
has
my god.
15 food.
You have a bunch of food, but you are not using it on anything. Stable is idle, TC is idle. Like, this is pretty huge. I don't know, you probably have had like a minute of idle already. And now you decide to
Yeah,
make another stable, but you are not producing from the first one. And also
Just
like
like the other guy.
he's hunting now. He still has only one farm, but let me see how many you have. You don't have any farms either. You should have like 10 farms at this point. Your problem was you didn't send enough to wood, and then you didn't start farming. Now you're going on gold, and I think you're looking to like transition into archers.
Yes.
The other stable is completely useless. It does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And you can't even produce from it. That should have been a range, but then again the wood should have been on farms. So it's kinda tough. Now you're doing the range. But anyway, like, what your plan should have been is like, because you're up faster, you should always have like the army advantage. So you go, like you can already go with the one scout. Once you are feudal age, like, if you are Mongols, you get up super fast. Sometimes the opponent might not have loom or might have some like builders. For example, building a barrack with a single villager. You try to kill that. Then have the gather point straight to his base and send the other scouts there, because he's not gonna be up to feudal age as fast as you are with Mongols. Like, that's an advantage you have with Mongols, is the fast uptime. So you should try to abuse it as best as you can. Wasted some scouts there. Now you get a decent rating over here, but the problem is you're behind in villager count. Not because you have lost villagers, but because you haven't made villagers. It's quite a big issue here. And you start farming way too late. Like, the most important thing, like with normal scout rush, getting the farms up fast, but with Mongols, like the transition, sometimes you might be hunting, which like normally would delay your farms a bit. But it makes it extremely more important that when you go scouts with Mongols, that you have try to get the early farms. And what helps in that is that you have enough on wood once you like advance to feudal age, so you can then make that wood from the villagers to farms quickly. Like, remember when I said like at 12 minutes you had like 400 extra wood and you had no farms, and I said like those should be on farms. And then you build a stable and a range, and you couldn't build farms. Now you have 4 farms. Like, if you go scouts with any civ, the most important things are like to get the first farms out. Probably like getting the first like 7-8 farms as fast as you can is like the most important, like for the success of the build. Because those 4 first farms are the ones that are providing the food for extra scouts and TC production. So if you don't have those farms, you can't make scouts, you can't make villagers, and your castle age time will be much lower. Like, those are literally the most important thing with like with archers is kind of the same. Like, the first farms are like getting them up as fast as you can is really crucial in terms of your like castle age timing. You should wait for a couple more archers. Like, you can run back here, but I think you go like here and then you take the fight.
I remember, I don't know, I sent like my archers one by one for some reason.
Yeah, and also after you made the range, I think your range was idle as well. Like, you should have more archers at this point, and then you could snipe the archers. I mean the spearmen.
Yeah, because I did my range like, I don't know, 1 year ago.
Yes, but you forgot about it. And now you fight against the spearmen, and you're gonna lose. I think you're gonna lose a lot of scouts.
Yeah.
At this point, you could just run back, wait until you have enough archers. But now the scouts are gonna get the archers. I think. They should have...
No, don't go back.
If he was smart, he would have picked them off already. And you kill the spearman, but you take quite a lot of hit, and I think you end up like going even in this fight when you have like had way more scouts. I don't know how many more you had.
Like 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah. But it was not a great fight overall.
No.
And now you basically lose all your military advantage that you had. So you should have gone back there and waited until you have enough. Again, look at your production now. Like with D, it's pretty easy to keep track of the production because you can look at the top left.
Yeah.
That's a really handy way of looking at the production overall.
Yeah, I have no production at all.
Yep, it's completely nothing in queue. You have 32 villagers, opponent has 39. I think you have had like a mega idle time here. You could raid, but again, you have no archers, so you're probably fearing the spearman, which is like fair enough. And now you have to go and chase the scouts, I think. Unless you have spearmen there,
I should be like attacking instead of
yes.
taking my scouts back.
Yeah.
Even if, I mean, knowing that his army is at my base, I should be at his.
You had the spearman, and he had only 4 scouts. So yes. I mean, this game like a lot of building idle time, and
yeah,
it's quite hard to like teach how you can keep it going, but you just have to like think about it constantly, like produce, and like the TC hotkey should be like something you should always like. Just from Dark Age, you should during Feudal Age just constantly jump into your TC. You could number the TC as well and keep an eye on the left queue. That works as well, but I don't think it's not that great of an idea because you have to farm, like basically with all the builds, so you have to go to the TC anyways. Maybe in Castle Age is more useful. Okay, let's see what happens here. Should be an easy fight for you because... Oh no, why are you running back?
No, I have no idea.
I think you could have taken that fight. It's 4 spearmen against 12 scouts.
Against 12 scouts.
And
yeah.
because he has no army, like now you should be thinking like 24 minutes. If I was in that situation, I would be like, oh shit, I'm so screwed.
Imagine, I don't know, imagine me fighting or going through his mill at the left side.
Yeah.
I can kill like every villager.
Or both of the wood lines. Both of the wood lines are completely open.
Yeah.
Gold is open. Okay, you waited for the spearmen, which is okay. I mean the archers, which is, I guess, sort of fair enough. But like right now, he has no army to defend this, and he's going to Castle Edge. When I watched this game first time, I think, okay, you're gonna win this game here. But let's see what happens. You have the archers. I would just like go for first wood line and then go to the second one. Now you're tanking the TC for like 5 hits. He has to run the other wood line. You get like few kills here. The problem is that he's still ahead in villagers because he didn't idle the TC as much as you did.
Yeah.
So now this point is like you have to think his Castle Edge, 2 stables, knights probably coming. Either you like dive in hard or you run back to your base. Like those are your 2 options. Like the scouts can keep on killing, but the archers are like. I would have probably. Did you know about the gold? You were already at the woodland, so what I would have probably done is sent the archers to the gold. You knew about the gold. Like, gold is the only thing he can use to make knights. You already killed this wood line here, so I would have gone straight there, but instead you just kind of camped here. Like the scouts can always keep raiding because they can just run away from the knights.
Yeah.
But with the archers you kinda have to make a decision, like either dive in or like run back home. And you like didn't do either, so you kinda lost them for nothing. They were just standing there. I mean, you got a few kills here. You are close to even. I think you killed like close to 10 villagers, but the problem was you idled your TC so much that you are like the opponent is still ahead. So now you are like statistically you're kind of screwed. Like we went from the situation like you were here and you just attack a bit too late. Like, but you still did a decent damage, not gonna lie. But you lost a couple of villagers here to the early knights because the left side wasn't walled. You lost the archers for kind of nothing there. And just like the idle time hurt you the most in this game, I think. You kind of lost the game yourself in that terms. And now you have 2 TCs up, but neither of them is producing. The stables are not producing. Raiding is kind of tough when both like have camels. So it usually means that it ends up being like kind of stalemate. Now you take a fight, and I think... Do you take a fight? Nope.
I completely lost that fight. I remember.
He has +2. You have like only 11 expo. Which I'm not gonna do that much. And also you get kind of caught there. So he gets an attack over the expos. They should always be behind the knights, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me this is kind of hard fight to judge, but he just has way more cavalry in it, and because the small expo mass is really not doing that much there, because it's only like 10. It was like 10 expos pretty much. So he ends up overrunning, and also he had +2 armor already, so the expo did even less. Like generally you should always think about like why to fight. If you find no reason to fight, then you don't need to fight. And if you had a monastery, okay, now you're making monastery. Like if you wall and have monks behind, usually that's just already the enemy is just gonna run away. Now you are producing from both the range and the ranges, but the TCs are still idle. This is a huge problem in this game. Also, as I said, like go for like 1 unit armies and then mass that 1 unit and then make a switch. Don't make like 2 units at the same time. Usually, that's like a rule of thumb. Like I would not have made, like you're wasting a lot of resources on making the expo when you never had the mass to begin with. And because the crossbows don't really counter anything he's making, because he's making knights. What you could have done is go like full camel knight, or mainly camels, and then see like, okay, he's going full camels, then you maybe like think, okay, maybe expos will work. But again, like massing expos late is kinda mistake.
Yeah.
You have the thesis now, you are producing. Most of the time you are not producing in this game. You somehow managed to win this fight. You avoided the manual pretty well. And he went a bit too deep. But he has already castle here, he's making another castle there. I mean, if you knew about the castle you could maybe deny it, but now this game is just over. Like if you have started producing from the TCs, then you might have like been close. But now it's like 30 villager difference, is going to Imperial Age. Actually that's why you probably like won the fight, was because he was like saving up for Imperial already, and you were in the end somewhat using all your resources, but you were not really spending it like fully. But I think this game like you lost it because you idled your TC in feudal age, and also you didn't do the early farms.